Yo guys, Beast, back with some more wasted content. So, this is a quick little video over who you should be using stimulants on and who you should not be using stimulants on. So, real quickly, let me go ahead and hop into this onto my account. So, first things first, I'm going to be telling you the top units to be using stimulants on. First of all, there's Takizawa. I don't have him, that's why I'm not showing him on my team right now. But Takizawa is really good to use stimulants on. But if you have Black Reaper, I would use stimulants on Black Reaper over Takizawa. So let me quickly show you what Black Reaper looks like. Now, another thing is Black Reaper's banner probably won't be here for a little bit. But yeah, Black Reaper is phenomenal to use stimulants on. As you can see, I have him 100%, and I did that all with stimulants. So Black Reaper you could use stimulants on, and then the new Arima and the new Kaneki. So here's the new Kaneki. This is the new Kaneki. Animated art, just like the Arima. Let me quickly just show you the Arima's banner. This Arima here, you can use stimulants on. And then after that, the Juzo. There's the Take Juzo, who's pretty good. There's also some other specials coming out. There's an Edo coming out. She is a light type. Very, very good unit. She should be here when, I'm not quite sure, maybe a week or so from now. Depending on if we have any actual good banners. I mean, besides the Amon birthday banner, which is coming soon enough. Actually, that should be tomorrow? Tomorrow Friday? No, yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Whoops. Anyway, so, yeah. Anyway, this Juzo, real quick, let me show you the Juzo. This is the Juzo you can be using on, not other Juzos. This specific Juzo is okay to also use stimulants on, because it turns out to be a very good unit. After that, any future units or anything, let me quickly cover how you know if you want to use stimulants on them or not. Oh, one second. Alright, anyway, back to what I was saying. The Juzo is an okay, because she's also another exclusive unit that is really good when you put stimulants into her. She really benefits from stimulants, so on to the next ones of any future Fez unit or exclusive unit. This is not automatically a put stimulants into them or put stimulants not into them. What you should usually do is look up videos of these units, and first of all, if they are awakening units, it's almost never a good idea to put stimulants in them. The only awakening units that are so far is Kaneki and Arima, and that's getting them to 40%. But what I would suggest doing if you pull a festival unit and you want to know if you should put stimulants in or not, you should look up a showcase, or I don't know what other people call them, but just some sort of video that shows off what the character does, and usually people will mention if they need to be having stimulants in them. If you want to check out my own showcases for most of the characters, now, if I don't have a showcase for a character you want to see, and I happen to have it, go ahead and hit me up and be like, yo, Beast, can you showcase this character? But anyway, like I said, go ahead and check out a showcase for the festival unit or an exclusive. Exclusives are kind of safer to put stimulants in, because exclusives are only available on their one banner. Meanwhile, festival units are kind of just available on every single festival banner. So let me show you an example of an exclusive. Like I said before, Black Reaper, he's an example of exclusive. Takizawa, who I unfortunately do not have, is an example of a festival unit, but he's a festival unit that is really good, and he's good enough to actually put some stimulants in without feeling bad about. So, on to some units that are questionable to put stimulants in after a certain percentage. So, this here's the Toka. She's a Fez unit, but like I said, she's a Fez unit, so she's going to be on every single Fez banner. As you can see, I actually have her at 60%. I did go ahead and put 20 stimulants in her when I first got it, so I could get her to 20%, but everything after that has been dupes when I've pulled in random banners while I've been pulling for other people. So, as you can see, festival units it really depends for them. Exclusive units is a safer bet, but still look up a showcase. If it's an absolutely terrible exclusive unit, no matter how many stimulants you put into it, there's no reason to waste stimulants on it. But anyway, as you can see, Toka's second skill, 1.5 times the attack and defense of her allies for 3 turns, and restores HP by 15%. Now, I do believe her original one was only a 10% heal, and the 5% difference is actually a relatively large noticeable difference, but I would not suggest putting stimulants into a character like this for one specific reason, and once again, that's because it's a festival character and it's a support unit. On to the next thing. Support units are super highly debatable, at least pure support units. This here is an example of a pure support unit. The B-Day units are usually pure support units. Basically, it's where they only do supporting stuff to the team with their skill. As you can see, her skill does not do any damage. It only increases the amount of damage your other characters do, and of course the defense, and she heals them. She's very good about that, but at the same time, it is not something crazy that you have to have. As a matter of fact, the only reason, or the max mastery I'd ever get someone to, like Toka specifically, now let me mention Toka real quick, is 40%, and if you're wondering why, cures all status elements of front row allies at 40%. That's very, very nice. So if you pull her while you're just summoning on a festival banner, and you have the extra stimulants, and you already have Black Reaper, Takizawa, the new Kaneki or the new Arima, and the Juzo, if you have any of those characters, I'd suggest putting the stimulants in them over Toka if she's 40%, and even if she isn't, it's still not a big deal to get her to 40%. Put them in Black Reaper, put them in Takizawa, put them in the new Kaneki or the Arima. And in the new Kaneki and Arima, once again, I have a showcase over the new Kaneki, and I mentioned specifically that after 40%, it really doesn't matter too much on stimulants because 1, they're awakening units, and well, 2, they're awakening units. But yeah, anyway, on to the next little thing I was going to cover. Premium and ticket units are a never ever put stimulants in, and of course free-to-plays, never put them in. Free-to-plays are the characters that you get from doing an event over and over and over. Never put stimulants in them, because if you do the event over and over, you can get the drops. And as for ticket units and premium units, and they're very close when it comes to units in general, this is a premium unit. Her name is Nutcracker, and if you quickly go check Mastery, actually, I don't actually think premium units get a skill difference. So, as you can see here, besides the Mastery, it doesn't say anything about the skill animation changes. That's how you can tell the difference between a festival unit and a premium unit. That's a premium unit, as you can see, if you look in Mastery, and I've done a video over this, but I figured I'd do an updated one. Anyway, no animation change shown on the first step or any of the other steps. But if we go over to a festival unit like a festival or even exclusive, this is an exclusive unit, this is Black Reaper. So upgrade info, go over to Mastery. As you can see at 20%, 60%, and 100%, the attack animation changes. So that's how you know it's either a festival or an exclusive. In this case, this is an exclusive unit. Let me quickly go ahead and show you another example of a festival unit this time. The Toka, she's a festival unit. If you go over to her Mastery and you look at Mastery, it says attack animation changes. She's a good example of a festival unit, and like I said, I really wouldn't suggest putting stimulants into her. But anyway, on to ticket units. What are ticket units? So, if you didn't know, there's a summon in the banner called a ticket banner, or voucher summon, basically a ticket banner. And basically, all of these characters are on this banner. So, there is no reason to use stimulants because you're more than likely going to pull way more than one dupe off this banner because you get these tickets from everything. You do get them from missions, you get them from territory wars, you get them from all sorts of stuff. They hand them out as login bonuses sometimes. There's absolutely no reason to put stimulants into a ticket unit ever. So, on to the last thing when I mentioned Fez units earlier, and some Fez units you shouldn't use, awakening units. Now, I'm going to show you a couple examples of awakening units. The one I'm showing is actually counter, I guess, argumentative or whatever of what my current statement is here. Most awakening units should not have stimulants in them unless they are very, very specific units. So, how you tell it's an awakening unit is it will say skill, skill 2, and then awakening if you go over to its skill here. But this is an example of a good unit to put stimulants in, even though it's an awakening unit, because his first skill does something amazing. Now, Kaneki is even less of a debate than the Arima. So, at 40%, Kaneki gains this thing called 2 times your attack for 2 turns. So he doubles his own attack. So you'd get his first skill off, then you would awaken him, and you'd use his awaken skill. He's one of the very few examples of awakening units. Same with the Arima. Let's quickly go over to the Arima. Very few examples, there we go, of awakening units that you'd actually want to put stimulants into. Most of them you're not going to want to unless, yeah, you're just not going to want to unless you have everyone else done up already really nice. So, as you can see here, at his 40% as well, 1.75 times the attack of front row allies for 2 turns. Now, Arima's even more of an argue of put stimulants in there because he starts to support your front row with more attack damage. Once again, you'd use his first skill, then you'd awaken him and use his second skill. So, basically, quick little recap here. So, quick little unit list of, I guess, the current times, and then I'll also tell you the future proofing. So, Takizawa is a really, really good festival unit to put stimulants into. Black Reaper's really good, but he's an exclusive unit to put stimulants into. The new Kaneki and the new Arima are the exception for awakening units that are good to put stimulants into, at least up to 40%. Anything after that doesn't really matter unless it's 100%. Juzo is another example of an exclusive unit that is pretty good to put stimulants into. And of course, Edo, who is not currently released on Global, and I'm talking about the exclusive Edo, the Owl Edo, is another example of a unit to use stimulants on that is really good, that's an exclusive. As for the future, first of all, I'd always suggest checking out a showcase video over the festival or the exclusive unit that you were thinking about putting stimulants in. I also showed you how to check, and that is by going into Mastery, and real quickly, let me show you one more time. You go into Mastery, and if it says that there will be an attack animation change, it's either a festival or an exclusive unit. And you should always look up a showcase of the unit. I usually put showcases up for any new unit, if you're wondering. But, yeah, always look up a showcase and see if they're recommending to put stimulants in it. I will always tell you if you should put stimulants in it right away or not. But anyway, premium units are a no. And once again, premium units don't have an animation change. Ticket units are a no. Same as premium units. They don't have an animation change, and I've already given you the reason of ticket units, and premium units actually are in that ticket banner, so there's no reason to put stimulants into them. And awakening units, most of the time, are not worth putting stimulants into them. So, I do believe that's all for now. Like I said, Pheasant exclusives is usually a yes, but check out a showcase video of them to see if they are any good or not. And then, of course, Takizawa, Black Reaper, the new Kaneki, the new Arima, their anniversary Kaneki and Arima, by the way, the new exclusive Juzo, and Edo Kakuja, I guess it is Kakuja or Owl, no, Edo Owl, who is not currently on Rebirth, but is on Invoke, are the list I have made. And it's not in order, because if it was in order, it'd be Black Reaper, then the new Kaneki and Arima, and then Takizawa, and then Edo, and then Juzo. But I do believe that's all for now. I don't really think I need to cover it again. But yeah, never do ticket units, never do premium units. Support units are super debatable, so look at their skill and see if they gain anything through mastery. If they don't get anything special that's just really good as a support thing, and I mean pure support units, by the way. Awakening units is almost always a no, besides the new Kaneki and Arima. Future and festival units, always look up a thing, but it's usually a good idea to put stimulants in. Exclusive units, festival units is super questionable because you could pull more dupes later on in a random Fez banner while you're going for someone else, but always look up a showcase regardless if it turns out to be a really, really good festival unit. Or if it needs stimulants, but turns out to be a good unit after like 20 or 40 stimulants, go for that. And yeah, I do believe that is all for now, though. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if it helped you, and keep it beast mode. Also, I don't remember who commented and asked for an updated one of these, but I'll leave your comment down here just as a screenshot if I remember, but I'm out. See you. Keep it beast mode.